Hey, my beautiful angel, Josie Grouse here. Welcome to Soul Awakening channel. This video is all about the energy update for the upcoming full moon. We have powerful, awesome full moon on July 13, and you know that 13 is the lunar number, is the powerful, magical number of the moon. So prepare. It's going to be great. It's going to be big. So, 5 things that are essential for all of us to know. They're all happening on 3 levels: on the level of the body, of our physical cells, also on the level of energy, and also on the level of the spirit, on the level of our soul, on the level of our consciousness. So, we express ourselves in that unique way, and we're tuning in into lunar energy, the intensity of the moon. Think of the moon as the light that is that's shining through you, that is magnifying, that is intensifying, and anything that you want, you become more aware of it. There are any feelings, any emotions in you, you're becoming much more in tuned with these feelings. It's a perfect time for you to really get to know who you are. What do you want? What are your feelings? What are your emotions? What are your true desires? And this magical full moon is going to give you that unique opportunity. So, 5 things. The information that I'm receiving comes from angels. By the way, if this is your first time on this channel, hey, I'm Josie Grouse. I'm the angelic medium. Here on this channel, I'm sharing with you spiritual wisdom. So, be sure to subscribe, share these messages, please, with those who need to hear angelic guidance. So let's dive right in. The first thing that angels really want you to be aware of about this full moon energy, it's all about community. The word community is just super clear. And let me tell you this, please listen. What I've learned from angels, they don't work alone. They may have, you have archangels, but they're all within a network of angels. They all need each other. They work with each other. They're a team. And when they're collaborating, they're always, they're using every single resource. When you ask them, when you're communicating with your angels, they instantly trigger every single angel available to help you. That's how it works. And they're encouraging us during the times of full moon is to stay together, community, coming to a union. And as a union, we can now co-create. People in your life are co-creators. You are a co-creator. You co-create. And in moments, perhaps this full moon will, maybe some fear, some emotional trauma from the past may resurface, and you may feel like, I want to be alone. I just want to close my door and hide behind my door and in the safety of my home. But that's not going to help you. That's not going to serve you. What will help you, all of us, is to stay together. And there's no better time to stay together. Now we have internet, we have so many places opening up, new conversations, new ideas. The world is moving so fast, and we're the vehicles of change. That's how we just manifest our desires. We're driven by this co-creative energy. So communicate, ask other people around you if you can, get together some meaningful events. You initiate these events, invite people into your life. You are going to be so grateful that you did. So, staying together, staying in the community. Remember, community, number 2. And number 2 comes from now community with whole as number 1, but number 2 is all about personal relationships. And this full moon will be about personal relationships just as well. If you have someone significant in your life, this is the time for you to really bind. So if you have a soulmate in your life, you will be more connected to them. If you are in a distance kind of a relationship, I see you coming together, and I see you becoming more interested in each other. When a relationship full moon appears on our path is to remind us that we grow through relationships. Relationships are assignments. They are assignments. And when you are assigned, so to say, spiritually to another person, what happens, right? You learn more about yourself. You are learning more about who you are because the mirror of the relationship is now letting you see yourself and how you can grow. Every person on your path is a teacher. Every relationship that you're in is there giving you an opportunity to become better, wiser. Perhaps also this is the time for you to to become available for your partner, for your husband, wife, or boyfriend, girlfriend. See how you can also, what you can give them, what you can contribute for them. It's not about just also taking. The community, the energy of the community is all about sharing. So when relationships in your life are not working, a good question to ask is that what can I do? Not what another person can do for me or what they're not doing for me. Ask different questions and ask, how can I now become more available? How can I initiate meaningful conversations? How can I talk about things that matter? So we can come up with a plan. One head is great, but two minds is so much better. And your loved ones are ready to talk. They're ready to listen. So this is a really good time for you to rekindle a relationship, to reach out to someone and ask them out if you have been wanting to do so, because the universe is very favorable. You get so much momentum going in that direction. Relationships are so valuable. There are assignments. So just pay attention what's happening with your relationship. Number three points at the end of a difficult situation. Difficult situation is ending for you, whether it's some kind of challenging situation like a maybe a legal issue or a long outstanding thing that you were waiting. You just want this to end. You just want to close the door on that difficult situation. And here's what angels want you to know. Look, you're listening to this, it's relevant. So they want you to be at peace. That's so much more important for you to be at peace with the circumstances. When you are at peace, you're not struggling, you're not um, holding the grudges. You are also thinking about your future, because if you worry about something, about the difficulties and problems, guess what's going to happen? You will bring those problems into the future by your attention, with your energy, by thinking about these problems, things that are not working. So when a difficult situation ends, you'll feel a relief. I'm so really relieved. An outcome of that situation may not be exactly how you wanted, maybe not even, you'll be just happy that it ended. So, when this happens, be at peace. Really feel within you a magical energy of, oh, I'm done. So, the new chapter of my life, I'm ready to move on. And think about the future. Now, this full moon is also going to give you many ideas, and that's my number four. Number four, what I wanted to share with you today is that this full moon is going to be very just charged with ideas, and ideas will come to you in the sleep, in a state where you're relaxed, when you're peaceful. So that's why it's important that you really let go of the past, that you're not dragging the energy of the past into your future. Think of your future every day. Wake up excited because you're building your future. Every single day you wake up with a purpose, with intention. So ideas, when a full moon, it's like a big screen, and it's light. You can see it. You can visualize it. You can see full moon. And full moon is just like a projector projects information. It projects to you the consciousness that you don't otherwise see, right? The depth of your subconscious mind, you can't see it. It's hidden. And full moon is just like the doors are open, like the gates are open. And now you have unleashed some of these mystical powers, the powers to be sort of communicating with other dimensions of the spirit world. And you will communicate using symbols and ideas just as well. Think of how do you, if you would think of your loved ones in spirit, you will picture like a butterfly or some kind of, like a magical symbol. Like in the same way, when you are expanding your consciousness, then deep within, you begin to just symbolically remember some of your past lives and also your future lives just as well. And all that information is showing up on that screen of the full moon. And you begin to understand some valuable lessons as ideas, as thoughts. The thoughts that are new, the thoughts that you have not yet experienced before, they're mystical thoughts. They're not originated from your mind. They originated from a grander consciousness, right? From great space. And that's the magic of it. These ideas, when you are really following upon the ideas, when you're feeling the idea, it's going to be so valuable for you because you will expand. So what angels really want to lead all of us is to expand our consciousness. With expanded consciousness, there's so much that you will know, that you will do, that you'll become like a superhero in the way. But you cannot do it with just a little consciousness. You need to really grow in your awareness. And the way to do it is really to dive deeper within the resources of your own psyche, within the resources of your own subconscious mind. And number 5, this full moon, it's all about the conservation of the material resources. What do I mean by that? And I actually saved it for for the last. So because there's kind of a conversation that you will need to have with yourself. Now, there are days, when you are freely, you feel like, oh, I'm so inspired, and I will go ahead. I just follow my inspiration. You may go ahead and buy something, or you will feel like, well, you only live once, right? So I'm just gonna go and just forget that some of my resources, I will have to be under a lot of stress if I spend all this money. So you kind of forget that in the moment. And the conservation of resources is for you to slow down with the way you send money away. So if you go shopping, have a list and buy things that you need. You will be very glad that you did. So if you have kind of impulsive wants, they're not coming from your higher self. They're coming from lack, and they're coming from just kind of like I just need to feel good in the moment. So I am just going to go and spend my money. I'm going to go ahead and spend my savings for things that are just going to make me feel better. So that's the cycle. Especially with the full moon, this full moon is going to enhance the impulsiveness. It's kind of the impulsive nature, which you really want to be mindful of. You want to be aware. If there are any of these kind of sudden urges, oh, I'm just going to go and then go crazy and buy a whole bunch of things that I don't need. And then if at the end of the day, you're sitting and wondering, why did I do that? Why do I have so much stuff and I don't even, I don't even use it. I had a client just recently. She's in this situation, and she had been really trying to save money for a while, but then something happened in her personal life. She was so upset. And then she went and she she just basically spent all of her money on clothes, things that she thought was what she needed right there in the moment. And it's fine. But what happened was, she said, I have realized literally on the second day, and I looked at all these bags with clothes that I bought, and they were all standing there. I didn't even open them. Like, I bought them, but and then I came home and I just left all the boxes. And they were sitting there, and I almost forgot that I bought them. They made me feel good, but it was almost of my way of avoiding my hard feelings. And she said, and it became so obvious to her that sometimes what we do when we are upset, we may just regret, or we may buy something we absolutely don't need. When we become centered within us, we know that the happiness is, it's something that we don't have to go and get, with something within us that we have. And then she said, I took out all of the clothes that I bought, and I felt so kind of, I didn't feel any connection. I didn't feel any joy from all of the expensive things that I bought, shoes and whatever. And she's like, I bought them under this desire to feel good in the moment, but it wasn't really serving me. So that was her lesson. And there's a lot of learning that we can grow from. When a full moon is affecting you, that's affecting your kind of animal nature, the desires that you have. They're the desires of, they're the desires of your soul, and that's where you really want to be. That's the desires of your future. That's your desires connected to your purpose. But they're also impulsive desires. They are sort of instant gratification. Let me feel good in the moment at whatever price. So you want to become conscious of how these habits are developing in you, because in the long term you want to move into the future that is serving you, that is helping you, the future where you feel absolutely empowered, and impulsive things that are disempowering you. So you want to be mindful of that, and saving conservation of resources comes to be disciplined. The word that not many people like to hear, but I promise you, you have to discipline yourself for a short period of time. Be mindful with your resources. When external impulses are so sort of unpleasant, go take a walk. Go do something that is productive, exercise. So do that rather than just go at, spending your last savings and being in the space where you will later really feel depleted energetically. So, beautiful angels, here you go. 5 things that angels wanted to share with you. Let me know in the comments below. Go ahead, let me know in the comments below how you are attuning with the energy of the moon. What are you feeling? What dreams you're having? I'd like to know your stories. Be well and blessed. I'll chat with you soon.